This is Sky with Smart Poker Study. In my latest course, How to Steal More Pots, I teach you how to make the 9 most common and profitable steals, and one of those is the flop check raise. Now, for each steal strategy within the course, I give you a strategy video that teaches you exactly what to look for to successfully make the steal. I also give you a review video showing you how to go through your database to analyze related hands to improve your stealing skills, and I also give you a 10-question quiz to test your growing skills. Today, I want to give you the first 4 hands in my check raise bluffing the flop quiz. So take the quiz right now. 4 questions for you. Check raise bluffing on the flop. Let's get into it. Gambate! Welcome to a check raise bluffing the flop quiz. At the top here, I have the 4 points that we had discussed in that strategy video. When all 4 of these things are in place, you're about 80% sure that your opponent can find a fold. So keep these things in mind. We have 10 questions to go through. I am not going to quiz you on the pre-flop actions. We're going to get to the flop and beyond. That's where the questions will begin. So first off here, button open, and then we defend out of the big blind with 6-4 suited. Flop comes down deuce, deuce, 3. We check. And let me tell you, in the moment, he timed down for like 6 or 7 seconds, and then he bet 1.7 into 5.5. So what are you going to do at this point? You're going to fold? You're going to call? You're going to check raise, and if check raise, how much? Well, in this instance, I come in for the raise. I make it 8.4 over the 1.7. And let me tell you, this is a great check raising opportunity. I mentioned first that he timed down before betting just 1/3 pot. In general, time downs are weak. He's also on the button with a button open raising range. This flop misses his range, and it does hit ours more. I mean, it's not an easy to hit board, but we do have hands like 4-6, as you can see, 4-5, ace-4, ace-5, things that flop gut shots, straight draws, even trip deuces. I mean, he has some of those as well. But we take this chance, make that check raise, and then boom, he folds and awards us the pot. We'll go to the next hand right here, a limp, a min raise, a call. We decide to overcall because we obviously expect the limper to call as well. Boom, he calls, cheap flop to see 8, queen, 4, check, check, 5.8 into 8. These 2 players get out of the way. Action's on you. You're going to fold. You're going to call. You're going to check raise. And if check raise, how much? So here's what I did. Boom. I folded this hand. To me, this is not a check raising spot. He's a short stacked fish with a large bet in a multi-way pot. We have to believe him. Remember what happened right here. Look at that, 58-5 fish. 3/4-ish, 2/3-ish pot bet into 3 players still to act. This player loves his hand. 24 big blinds. If we call, that pot's going to be 20 big blinds. We don't have any room to maneuver to get him to fold post flop. We have some backdoor draws and a straight draw with a gut shot right now. But are we really going to get to see the turn and the river to hit any kind of backdoor draw? Not at all, because as soon as we check on the turn, if we call 20 big blinds, he's got 24, he's just shoving on us. It's too expensive to try to call to catch and win that tiny little stack right here. And yeah, you got to pay attention to those short stacks right here. Really good thing. You can avoid a ton of trouble spots by noticing, oh, fish, short stack. I can't get him to fold later on. I'm calling with just a gut shot right now. Absolutely not worth it. 30%, you only have 4 outs for the 4 tens that could hit right here. That's only going to happen 8%. Way overpaying. Next hand, 7-5 suited. 2.7 big blind open raise on the button. A fold, and then we decide to call. Flop comes down deuce, 6, 9. We check. He bets 3 into 5.9, a little bit over half pot. Action is on you. Fold, call, or check raise, and if so, how much? And this might help you with your decision. 24-24, C betting 3 out of 3 on the flop, 3 out of 3 on the turn, 2 out of 2 on the river. We have a barreler. Here's what I decided to do. So I made it 9 big blinds. I don't mind the call. You are getting really a pretty decent price on what is a very good straight flush draw right now. But yes, I do definitely prefer that. And the reason why right here is he's a lag barreler, as we saw. His range misses this board. He's on the button open raising. He's got all those broadways, all those ace X. A lot of them missed. We ourselves have a ton of drawing equity, and there's a lot of cards that we can barrel on. A 4, a 5, a 6, a 7, an 8, a 9, even a 10. All those add equity, plus the diamond completes our flush draw. There's a ton that we can barrel on right here. But alas, he decides to call. The turn comes a deuce, giving you a flush. Actions on you. Are you going to bet, or are you going to check? And if bet, how much? Okay, so here's what I do at this point. I'm down with the bet. I do not fault the bet at all, but I decide to check right here. And let me tell you exactly why. This player, super big stack, loose aggressive player. I guarantee players like this like to bet when you check. He also has house money. These lags bet when you check. So check raising for good value, or I consider it a good value plan, and we can get value from diamonds and pairs. One of the problems with check raising, though, is he could check back with a queen of diamonds and hit another diamond. He could check back with a pair of tens and then river a 10. So you do risk something when you check back and you make that play that I did. But what happens was he ended up betting roughly half pot. We come in for the raise. Darn, he folds. So it's kind of, I'm not saying that check raising is the best play right now, but I think I did charge a pretty good amount for any potential diamond draw. And players like this, like I said, they love to bet when you check. On that deuce, that was an easy check raise bluff. And then now he's going to use the paired board to try to bluff us. Breaking in before the fourth question of the quiz. If you're enjoying this, you're going to love the other 8 quizzes within the How to Steal More Pots course. Get it by going to thepokerforge.com/how to steal more pots course. If you get this course for a limited time right now, you can save over $200 on the course. It's usually $300. You can get it for just $99. When you get the course, you're actually going to learn 9 proven pot stealing strategies: 3-bet bluffing pre-flop, 3-bet bluffing versus ISO raisers, 4-bet bluffing pre-flop, C-bet bluffing flops, double barrel C-bet bluffs, over-bet bluffing on the turn, check raise bluffing flops, attacking checks in position with floats, attacking checks out of position with probes. Altogether, you get 42 training videos, 27 steal-related videos, and 15 bonus videos to teach you even more beyond these steals. It's over 14 hours of coaching. So right now, go to thepokerforge.com/how to steal more pots course to save over $200 and get this bad boy for just $99. Okay, on to question 4. Next hand, we open raise, couple of folds. Whoa, 67.50. He has 3-bet in the past. C-bet 2 out of 2 on the flop, 1 out of 1 on the turn. He comes in for the 3-bet. Couple of folds. We decide to call. Flop comes down 9, queen, 6. We check. 8.4. Half pot into the 7.5. Actions on you. Fold, call, or check raise. To what size? All right, so at this point, I elect to check raise. I make it 25 big blinds, and let me tell you why here. On this flop, we hit the nut flush draw. This is a great blocker when you do have the nut flush draw. I wish we had some kind of straight equity as well, but I really like this opportunity. Against our check raise, he's going to fold his overcards and weak pairs. We block him from having a nut draw so he can't come back over the top. But here's the thing. We plan to shove on blank turns and hearts if this is the case. Because here's the thing. If he calls, that pot is going to be so big. We only have 70 big blinds behind. It's going to be roughly 70. We have to shove. We're out of position. So when I say a blank turn and hearts, the deuce, 3, 4, or 5, those can all easily shove. And then any heart as well for value. So we're kind of like shoving our on perfect cards that should not help if he calls. And then we're shoving on cards that give us a value hand as well. If he shoves right now, do I call his shove? If he shoves, it would commit me for my other 70 big blinds. That pot would be 17, 68 big blinds for my other 70, 70 more, 33%. I have 9 outs, but I'm guaranteed to see the turn, and river times 4 is 36%. Yes, I would have to call based on that. If he calls and an ace comes on the turn, I would probably just call that. Well, queen 9-6, is he calling with just an ace versus this bet? I don't think there's many aces that he's calling versus this bet. I think if he calls, he's got a couple of hearts, or he connects with this in some way. Jack 10, Jack King 8, 8 10. Remember, his 3-bet preflop was really small. He's a loose aggressive player. He made it only 8 big blinds. He does have kind of a wide range. So I think if he calls and if that ace hits, I think I'm going to be betting and probably shoving once again on an ace. But he ends up folding and awarding us the pot right there. Let me tell you one thing also about this pre-flop action. This is a key idea. When I played this hand, I'm in the mindset of, let me see if I can experiment and find more check raises. You don't just defend the big blind with your check raises. You can also call out a position versus 3 bets for check raises. And the ace 4, I smell a great check raising opportunity, and he only made it 8. Pretty weak. It's not like he has pocket aces and pocket kings every time here. He has a very wide range right now. Depending on what that board is, I think this is a very valid opportunity to try my check raising skills. Well, I hope you enjoyed the quiz. The only way to take the remaining 7 questions on the quiz is to buy the How to Steal More Pots course right now by going to thepokerforge.com/how-to-steal-more-pots course. I'll see you there.